So coming to the technical part of these two weapons, if you see the regulator part in steyr is like this, and which has an O-ring on the top, okay, top edge, whereas in Morini there is no O-ring on the regulator, but the inside there is a green O-ring, which is a very it's not an O-ring, it's sort of a U-ring or a W-ring we call it. So that is inside the cylinder housing. Okay, so these two cylinders are pretty similar if you see in make. So one of the technical aspects is the length of the gun. A lot of shooters observe this point. So Morini is always longer, though the action of the gun is very similar to size. The length in the barrel and compensator is longer in Morini and shorter in steyr. Okay, so if you look at the specifically as from regulator perspective, this regulator need not be adjusted for pressure intake. It's a one-time setting and it just doesn't go bad. So the only thing that can happen is leakage through this regulator, and that also is extremely rare. So then if you look at steyr, the regulator here has generally this O-ring wears out very fast. The company gives you two of these O-rings as spare. So if you see right now, if you see there is slight edges which is coming out, so it will eventually this will wear out and it will start leaking when you fix the cylinder on, and you have to change that O-ring. It's very easy to change, so it's not a complicated thing. But this regulator has something called as disc springs inside. So if you see the photo there on the laptop, so that is the disc spring. That's how the disc springs look, and those disc springs are inside this regulator. So they compress it, and there is a regulator valve inside here. Okay, and it has a less than half a millimeter hole inside, and it has a O-ring around it which is half a millimeter width, and it's a very small and it's a very delicate adjustment. So at times this starts taking a little more air, and then there is some shots which go low and the regulator doesn't perform optimally after a certain time. So this regulator needs servicing once in a while, but these regulators on Morini does not require any kind of servicing other than air leakage. I'm not telling all steyr pistols will have this problem, but there are quite a few steyr pistols which regulator will need to be serviced, or once in a year whenever you get your weapon service, do get the pressure intake checked on the regulator. So this becomes a mandatory case in steyr weapons, not in Morini weapons. So this is the technical part. So second aspect, if you look at both the weapons, the Morini does not have an absorber or a compensator. When you look at steyr, so what happens is the cylinder has air. The air goes into the, when you fit it, it goes in, enters the regulator. Regulator holds the air till we fire. So when we load the gun and fire, the hammer pin pushes into the regulator, which releases the air through this hole, goes under. Okay, if you can, you will not be able to see right now. So when I am servicing, maybe I'll make a video of it. So there is a hole under this which is matching this particular hole under this bolt. Close it. The air comes in and pushes the pellet out, and the balance part pushes a metal rod inside. So that also you can observe in another video I'll make. So this is a catch lever. So there are multiple components here which are working to reduce the recoil, whereas none of that is available on this gun, but the compensator is excellent in the front. So you will feel a bit of a punch when you shoot on a Morini, and less of a punch when you're shooting on a steyr. So the point to note is recoil, whatever happens in both the guns happens after the pellet has left the barrel. So at no point or under no circumstance the accuracy is better than the other. Okay, both guns have extremely good accuracy, and both depends on the shooter. The accuracy of the gun is actually dependent on the skill of the shooter here. So both guns I have seen top quality shooting. So the main reason for your purchases to make differences would primarily, we should be looking at a couple of factors. One is the pricing also is pretty similar. I don't think pricing is huge difference between these two guns. And the real differentiator would be the grips, whatever is comfortable. The balance on the gun, I feel the Morini is far more balanced than Steyr, but Steyr trigger is simply too good for a lot of people, and a few people don't like the recoil on the Morini. And the other aspect that you'll have to look at is the maintenance part. So if you're a very person who's prone to not taking care of the gun too much, then go in for a Morini, which is a rock solid built from Switzerland. If you're a person who likes to take care of your weapon but not operating yourself, it's a warning, please don't operate this gun yourself. I've seen a lot of people suffer by trying to fix it, meddle the gun. So you will face a lot of problem. So if you have on a regular basis, just take care of it once in a year or so. Recommended if you're a very good shooter, at least 6 months once you have to get your weapon serviced. Okay, so you can go for Steyr. So the next part we look at what are the other aspects that are important while making a purchase decision. Regarding the triggering aspect as to electronic unit, how it looks and how it functions, we've already made a video under the electronic trigger versus manual trigger video. I would please recommend you to please go and have a look at that video. We'll put a description link. So please check out that video, which describes how both the circuits work and what are the uses of those circuits. So we'll get into the different types of models that are available in each of these guns, these brands. So Morini, which is a Switzerland brand, has this 162EI in manual as well as 162M, which is manual, and 162EI, which is electronic. Apart from this, there is the titanium version, which is slightly lower in weight, both the cylinder and the body. So, but the entire mechanism remains absolutely same. Okay. And then comes the 200EI, which is the advanced version of it. And these days they are even selling the Bluetooth version, which has some data analytics in terms of your pitch angles into the pistol while shooting. So that analytics is a separate part. I think they are charging for that as well. And that's a Bluetooth model. That's what they're calling it in the latest one. So those are the models available in Morini, and also this particular model, including the titanium, comes in a junior model as well. So it is shorter barrel, and the interesting part about that is the barrel is short, but the length between the front sight and rear sight is the same. So if you know how it works, please make a comment. I would appreciate if somebody has noticed how they've managed to keep the barrel in the whole gun shorter, but the distance between the front sight and rear sight the same. Okay, that's a bit of engineering Morini has achieved, quite a feat. Okay, and second part is when we come to Steyrs, which comes from Austria. So this is their premium brand, which is Steyr Evo 10 electronic, and then comes the Evo 10 manual. Okay, and after that is our LP10 and LP10 Junior. Those are the two models available in manual, and one more model is again Junior. In Evo 10 electronic and Evo 10 manual, they have a Junior model as well, which is a short barrel and shorter cylinder. And accuracy wise, a lot of people ask me whether the junior weapon and senior weapon, what is the major difference. I would say it's the weight, that's one is different, but accuracy wise both guns are phenomenal. Trust me, there is absolutely no difference in terms of accuracy, and the quality of the guns are top notch. So if you're using a junior weapon on Morini or a junior weapon on Steyr, you will get the same results as good as you're shooting in a senior weapons. So the only difference is your ability and the skill of the shooter. Okay, fantastic. So thank you very much, and kindly follow us, share, subscribe, and keep learning.